Browns and Shedeur. Turn my headphones on.
To start Friday night, Browns at Panthers. Now, Shedeur.
Big opportunity, huge opportunity, and more importantly, show that he can run and manage this offense.
This NFL offseason has been a monumental one, with some huge trade requests, contract extensions.
Micah Parsons, come on, bro. I know you want to come down here to the West Side and join Josh Sweat and Coach Gannon. Like, come on, bro. We waiting for you. We are waiting.
The landscape of the league as a whole. But despite all of that, I don't think anyone has been talked about more since February than Shedeur Sanders. As you all know by now, Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to the 5th round of the NFL draft after being projected as a top 3 pick for the majority of the offseason. And even worse for him, he was drafted into quarterback hell when he was selected by the Cleveland Browns at pick number 144. Now, after a full offseason of wondering what the Browns were going to do with their quarterback room, we finally have an idea, and it's all laying on Shedeur Sanders' shoulders. So really quickly, before we get to this video, we're giving away multiple
no cap. This is how you know he been putting in work. Look at his cut right here, man. So he got the braids looking clean. Those are easy to lay down, you know, just wear your do-rag. But when you got this much, you know what I'm saying, like fro growing outside of the braids, that's how you know this man's been putting in work. You've been putting in that OT.
So
come on.
Before we get to this video, we're giving away multiple
Diamonds
copies
is
of Madden
dancing
26
too
to a subscriber that turns on their notifications on this channel. We're running the same giveaway from my Instagram page. Just let me know what console you want the game for, and we'll announce a giveaway winner at the end of each week on my Instagram story. Shedeur Sanders finally has a clear direction to an NFL roster spot, and here's where it gets really confusing, because prior to the very first week of the NFL preseason, Kevin Stefanski made a huge announcement.
We got game Friday night coming up. Some players will play. We'll play Shedeur at quarterback.
So Sanders was named the starting quarterback for said game, and this very well may be the biggest opportunity of Shedeur Sanders' life. However, Sanders is lucky that he's even in this spot to begin with, and let me tell you why. On Monday, August 4th, the Browns released their first official depth chart of the 2025 season, and as it turned out, Shedeur was in a worse position than he thought. Cleveland listed veteran Joe Flacco as the starter, which people weren't surprised by, but to quote Shedeur Sanders' father,
bro, that's crazy, chat. Joe Flacco is the last remaining of the OG quarterback era. Like, think about it. Phillip Rivers is gone. Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton, Eli. Who else? Tom Brady, obviously we all knew that, but Alex Smith, bro. That is crazy. Joe Flacco's still in the fucking league. Holy shit.
Now, Joe Flacco definitely lit it up for the Browns before, and he's the only true veteran presence in a quarterback room that so desperately needs that.
He might be the oldest QB in the league. I'm not gonna lie.
Listed as the backup, which is completely fair. He's
no
the
bullshit.
Only quarterback in that room who's actually played a snap in the NFL other than Flacco, automatically making that his spot to lose. But during training camp and OTAs, it looked like a battle for QB3.
Oh, A-Rod, yeah, you're right.
QB1 and QB2 in Cleveland.
A-Rod.
And that held to be true. But the question was always whether or not Cleveland was going to give their QB3 job to their 5th round rookie in Sanders or their 3rd round rookie in Dillon Gabriel. Yeah, for some reason, to this day, nobody knows, but Cleveland drafted both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft, with Gabriel being one of 5 quarterbacks selected over the projected 1st round pick, which in hindsight is hilarious because according to every report coming out of Browns training camp, Shedeur Sanders is 10 times the quarterback that Dillon Gabriel is. Still, Cleveland decided that Dillon Gabriel would be their QB number 3, making Sanders their QB number 4. And this decision only raised questions from their football community, mainly because, as I mentioned before,
are these niggas trying to lose? Are the Browns trying to lose? Like, I don't get it. What
during training camp, and the numbers prove it. Over the first 9 training camp practices for the Browns, Joe Flacco has completed 54 of his 92 pass attempts for a 58.7% completion percentage, with 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Kenny Pickett had a much smaller sample size, completing 23 of his 34 pass attempts for 67.6% completion percentage.
Not bad. That's
with
actually
3
pretty
touchdowns
good.
And a pick. That's fine. Both of those quarterbacks were basically shoo-ins for their spot on the depth chart. But the real problem is found when you compare Shedeur Sanders' performance to Dillon Gabriel's. Gabriel got a ton of reps in training camp, logging in 113 pass attempts. But the problem is he only completed 62 of them, which is good for a 64.9% completion percentage, along with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Shedeur, on the other hand, completed a whopping 70% of his passes, completing 49 of his
6
pass attempts to go along with a perfect
Why are the Browns punishing this man? Are they trying to lose? Like, what the fuck, bro? 6 touchdowns?
0 picks thrown. It makes absolutely zero sense that Gabriel is being given the QB3 job, and quite honestly, I don't think that lasts long. Sanders has a chance to show the world how good he is against the Panthers, but Cleveland would have never given him this opportunity if there weren't any practice-related injuries to Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel. Shedeur Sanders has lucked his way into starting a preseason game just 4 months removed from being the biggest draft slide in recent memory, and this very well may be his final opportunity to make a splash for the Browns coaching staff. The fact that he was named QB4 after being the best Browns quarterback at training camp just goes to show that they never really had any plan for a quote-unquote quarterback battle, because they already made up their minds right after the draft. I mean, Shedeur was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last season. There's a reason that he was projected to be a first-round pick on the night of the draft. He's unbelievably talented. He's just had some major off-the-field issues that include both he and his father, but none of that has really surrounded him since being drafted. The only news coming out about Shedeur
honestly,
Sanders
all the Colorado boys are tough.
Just how little faith Kevin Stefanski and the Browns.
If y'all watched the Ravens game last night, you seen Webster dude. He fucking returned that punt. All the Colorado boys, they're nice.
I just want you to take a look at some of the stuff that this guy can do on a football field. Shedeur is arguably the smartest and most accurate quarterback to come out of the 2025 draft. And people are about
He's got good size too, bro. He can definitely see the field.
He did it for years in college. Check this out. Colorado is going to come out in 11 personnel with all but one of its weapons being lined up on the wide side of the field to its left. TCU is going to blitz 3 off the snap, but they have the wide side blitzer wrapping around the line in an attempt to tie up Colorado's pitiful offensive line. And Shedeur sees this, so he prematurely rolls out left, knowing what's coming, despite there being no pressure just yet. Now, the reason he knows he can do this and still find an open man is because all but one of the routes out on the field are on the wide side of the field, so he's going to roll out left and be in a good position to find his man on an out route on the goal line, which Sanders places perfectly off of an awkward angle. Not only does he have a great arm and a great feel for passing lanes, but he also has a very underrated ability to escape the pocket and create plays with his legs, just like he does in this play. Here, Colorado lines up with 2 receivers on each side of the field, looking to find a quick pass towards the end zone with only 5 yards to go, which is evident by the dual slants on the wide side of the field, mixed with a zig route from the slot wide receiver on the right and a bump from the outside receiver. However, the receivers execute their routes
really sitting here analyzing plays right now.
It just seemed like the Cincinnati defense was all over their scheme, so Shedeur had to improvise. As soon as he saw how locked up his routes were, he stepped up into a beautiful lane created by the right side of the offensive line and looked to make something happen. He took a slow step to the left and hit the sinking Mike linebacker with a mean hesitation juke to create space.
Okay, that was nasty.
That hesitation didn't just fool the Mike linebacker.
That was nasty.
It fooled the help defenders behind him as well. Everyone bid on that juke move, which created a lane straight to the end zone, giving Shedeur Sanders an easy touchdown after Colorado's original passing scheme got blown up. Sanders has a real chance to show this off in front of a national
automatically,
audience
if you're a team in the NFL right now, bro, you automatically need a quarterback that can at least escape the pocket and run. That's just basic 2025 NFL common sense. Like the fucking defensive linemen nowadays are just way too fast. You can't have a guy that can't move around in the pocket.
But if Shedeur Sanders balls out on Friday and he still doesn't get any recognition for it, then I think there's an even bigger issue that we need to talk about. And that's whether or not Shedeur Sanders has a real future in this league. There's a real chance that Shedeur Sanders doesn't make the Browns roster to start the season, despite being arguably the best quarterback on the team. Cleveland has a surplus of quarterbacks, and historically, teams only can carry 3 quarterbacks on their roster throughout the season. However, there are some beliefs that Cleveland could carry 4 quarterbacks on their roster this season, and that very well may save Shedeur Sanders' career if he maintains his QB4 position.
So is there any team out there that has more quarterbacks than the Cleveland Browns? No. After talking to a bunch of people around the league, the Browns are more likely than not to carry 4 quarterbacks.
Isn't that the dude from the Pat McAfee show?
The problem with Cleveland carrying 4 quarterbacks, though, is that they just went out and signed former Ravens and Dolphins quarterback Tyler Huntley to a contract, adding even more competition in that quarterback.
No way.
If Huntley outperforms...
How many quarterbacks is that, bro? Is that Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Tyler Huntley? No way they have 5 QBs. Nah, bro. One of them's going to end up having to go. I think they're going to kick out Dylan Gabriel. Man, he went like, what, 60 for 113 reps? Like, come on, bro. That's ridiculous.
Sanders in their
We're talking about NFL level.
Carolina, there's a very real possibility that Huntley takes over the QB4 position, leaving Shedeur without a job. Cleveland has really mismanaged their quarterback situation this offseason, and don't forget, they still have Deshaun Watson due to return late in the season as well, adding even more chaos to an already chaotic situation. There really is no guarantee when it comes to Shedeur Sanders' career in Cleveland, but if it's up to him, he's going to come out and ball on Friday. It's all in his hands, and he knows that if he doesn't perform, he may be out of a job. So there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to do whatever it takes to secure his position on the team. And if not, then who knows what his future looks like. There have already been signs of Cleveland potentially cutting ties with him. So there really is no guarantee. Regardless, Shedeur Sanders' future is all up to Shedeur Sanders, and it's time to see what he's really about. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I don't know if you guys heard, but ESPN just bought the rights to the NFL Network, and this could come...
Ooh, I actually have to watch that video. We gotta watch that video. Nah, but WVid though from the flight mic. Yeah, bro.